This is going to feel less like a lecture and more like patch notes for your reality. We have talked about NPCs. We have talked about the system. If you watched both episodes, you already know two things. 1, you are more on autopilot than you want to admit. 2, the world around you benefits from keeping you there. So the question now is simple. How do you stop living like an NPC without burning your life down or losing your mind, trying to become the main character overnight? I am Zero, this is CYNLABS, and tonight, we are going to talk about what it actually looks like to live as a player in a world that wants you as background. First, we need to kill a dangerous fantasy. You do not become a player by quitting your job, moving to a cabin, and screaming "I'm free" into the void. That is not rebellion, that is running away. The system loves people who burn out. They try to wake up, they go too hard, too fast, they crash, and then the system holds them up as examples. See, this is what happens when you don't follow the script. So you go back to the script, back to autopilot, back to NPC mode. Being a player is not about blowing everything up. It is about deliberate disobedience in small, consistent ways until your life is no longer running on factory settings. Step 1. You need a debug view of your own behavior. Most NPCs never watch themselves. They just feel, react, scroll, repeat. A player starts logging. For 1 week, do not change anything. Just notice. When do you reach for your phone? What do you open first? What emotion were you feeling 10 seconds before? When do you say yes when you mean no? When do you laugh along with a conversation you secretly hate? Write it down in your notes app. On paper, on the wall if you have to. You cannot reprogram what you refuse to observe. Step 2. Introduce friction. NPC mode is smooth mode. Everything is on rails. No resistance, no questions. You wake, you scroll, you work, you numb out, you sleep. To stop being an NPC, you do not have to change every behavior. You just need to break a few loops. For example, next time your hand reaches for your phone without permission, stop it for 5 seconds. Not forever, just 5. In those 5 seconds, ask, did I decide this? Or did the script? If you still open the app, fine, but you opened it as a player, not as a reflex. That tiny pause is you grabbing the controller back. Step 3. Choose one area of your life to be weird on purpose, not everywhere. You would overload yourself. Pick one: how you dress, how you spend one evening a week, what you create, what you consume. In that one area, you stop asking what would be normal, and you start asking what would be mine. NPCs are terrified of being seen as strange. Players understand that strange is just self with the serial numbers still visible. You do not have to broadcast it. You do not have to make content about it. You just have to let one part of your life belong to you again. Step 4. Audit your inputs. You cannot think like a player if you only feed your brain NPC fuel. Constant outrage, low-effort drama. Content that leaves you feeling empty, but somehow unable to stop. Ask yourself, who benefits if I keep watching this? If the answer is advertisers, algorithms, and people who do not know I exist, maybe it is time to close the tab. Replace just 10 minutes a day of NPC fuel with something that makes you more of a person, not less. A book, a weird documentary, a conversation that is not just complaining. You do not have to become a monk. You just have to stop training your brain to be a perfect background process. Step 5. Protect your glitches. You have moments where you see the script clearly, you feel the loop. You feel the pressure to comply. And for a second you think, I could do this differently. That is a glitch, a break in the pattern. Most people smother it. They drown it in noise, work, scrolling, anything to avoid the discomfort of change. A player does the opposite. They sit with it. They ask, what is this moment trying to show me? Maybe it is a friendship that only exists as a habit. Maybe it is a job that is slowly eating you alive. Maybe it is a belief about yourself that was never actually yours. You do not have to fix it in one day. But you do have to admit that the glitch is real. That is your signal that the script is not absolute. Here is the part you are not going to like. Being a player hurts. Not all the time, but often enough that you will be tempted to quit. You will lose people who only liked the NPC version of you. You will confuse people who only understand predictable roles. You will scare systems that were built on the assumption that you would never wake up. There will be nights where going back to autopilot feels easier, safer, quieter. But here is the question you have to keep asking. Is it really safer to spend your one life as a background character in a story you did not choose? Or is the real danger never finding out who you could have been if you picked up the controller and played? You do not have to be perfect to stop being an NPC. You do not have to be fearless. Players are not fearless. They are just willing to act while afraid. They still have routines. They still have jobs. They still live inside systems. The difference is that they remember the systems are not gods. They are code, and code can be bent. This was episode 3 of NPC versus player. Now you know what NPC mode looks like from the inside, how the system tries to lock you there, and how to start living as a player without lighting your entire life on fire. The next move is yours. You can close this video, laugh, and go back to autopilot. Or you can treat this as a checkpoint. A save file from the moment you realized you do not have to stay an extra in your own story. If you are choosing to play, like the video, subscribe to Cyn-Labs, and send this to the one person who you know is ready to glitch the script with you. Because players do not win alone. They change the game by waking up together. Reality is rigged, but you are not powerless. You are not an NPC by default. You are a player who forgot they were holding the controller. It is time to remember.